Welcome back folks, my name is LastKnownMeal and today I will go through my favorite mods for The Witcher 3. This video was heavily requested, so these are the mods I use. Again, they are set for my personal preference, especially when it comes to various reshades. I will also post some alternative variations to that. Before we begin, if you could please click that like and subscribe button, you support the channel that way, and without further wasting your time, let's get into it. First mod I always recommend is the Witcher 3 HD Reworked project by Hulk Hogan. What this mod does is that it updates all of the textures in the world with the stunning 4K beautiful texturing, which just updates the world, making it a lot more sharper and better to just look at. Also, when you have sharp textures, no matter on the distance, it just enhances the game to make it more next gen. Regarding frame rate drops, I maybe had 3 to 5 frames drop overall, but nothing that would hinder my gameplay. This is definitely my must-have mod. To install it, simply download the 4 parts of the mod. It has to go through that because of the file size, which is around 9 gigs in total, or you can download the full one because it seems that option is added, so 1 file overall. Simply extract everything and paste it into your Witcher 3 main folder and let everything overwrite. But be sure to have a backup of that texture files because it's 9 gigs and it takes a while to download, so simply leave a backup and copy all of those files into your Witcher 3 main folder, and that's about it. You can also use Vortex from Nexus Mods, which is a mod manager which makes things a lot easier, but you can also do it manually like this. So basically just drag and drop and it will overwrite everything. So once you're done with that, go into your game, go into settings, and under texture quality slider just set it to this preset, and there you have it, updated beautiful textures. Next up we have a light mod, because with good textures you need a good light to cover it all. Personally I go with Super Turbo Light mod. It makes some of the coolest scenes in the game. All of my new Witcher 3 videos have this, and as you can see the light can be very cinematic without being too overblown. To install, simply download a file and extract the file into your main Witcher 3 folder under the folder mods. If you don't have this folder, simply create it, but if you did actually install the textures, you will have it. So drag and drop into the mods file, into the Witcher 3 directory, and there you go, you can just start the game and it's going to be updated. After textures and light, let's move on to signs. The next mod I definitely recommend is the improved signs effects mod. Basically for Ard and Igni you get a really cool effect which makes the overall sign have much more impact and coolness. It also increases the overall immersion a lot for me, and when you're fighting someone and then you use, for example, Ard, which goes through a much more wider area and is a lot more visible, it helps a lot, and it also increases the overall immersion. To install, simply download a file, extract it into your mod folder, and that's it. Next mod is called High Quality Faces, and it pretty much does what the name says. It increases the quality and textures of NPCs around you, including all of the main and side NPCs. Because you install the other texture mods, it's only the best to also increase the quality of the faces in the game, so that you have the full experience of, just textures being sharp all around. Again, as it was with other mods, extract the file and put it into the mods folder, and that's it. Next up is the mod called Lore Friendly Witchers, and it makes Geralt a little bit more Witcher-like, because they're mutants. Obviously some skin complexion and overall shade of skin is going to be a lot more pale, so this mod makes them a bit more unnatural as a Witcher would generally look like. It's not a huge difference to the point where it changes how Geralt looks like originally from the game, but rather just adds a little bit small adjustments and complexity to the face to make it a lot more lore friendly. Same process for installing this mod as it was with others, simply extract, drag and drop into the mods folder, and there you go. After that, I recommend to get a mod called More Shadows, which enhances the shadows and light a little bit more. So once you have the light mod and the texture mod, this is basically going to add a lot more shadows, especially in city areas or village areas, and during the night it can really fill up the scene nicely, and overall it increases the overall immersion. as it was with previous mods, drag and drop, and that's it. After that, I recommend getting new Clouds mod, which also increases the texture of the clouds. If the ground is sharp, you also want the skybox to be sharp and good looking. That's what this mod basically does, so you have the full overall immersion. So simply drag and drop into the folder, that's it. Same for water. Next mod I recommend is called Aqua, and basically that's the name. It increases the texture quality and overall detail quality of water. It adds a lot more nicer reflections in my opinion and makes it really stand out. So if you have all of the textures already enhanced, it's recommended to also get it for water, so as you are going through the world of The Witcher, everything kind of fills up nicely. As it was with previous installations, it's basically drag and drop. Now let's talk about grass. We need it, so what we will do is now install a mod which adds a lot more grass models onto the ground to fill in the lower part of our scene in the game. Going through the fields where you have much more foliage is a lot better in my opinion than in vanilla, especially if you really want to enhance your experience and make the world like really pop up. That's why I recommend also this mod. Again, as it was with all of the previous mods, it's drag and drop into the folder, and there you go. Now we will move on to trophies. So as you play through the game and you fight monsters and collect their trophies, you maybe notice that they don't give you that much. Well, now there is a mod called Better Trophies which adds more stats to the things you attach to Roach. So for example, a Lesson trophy will now give you 50% chance to find additional herbs and 5% damage to relics. So overall it gives you buffs, but not to the point where it breaks the game or makes Geralt really OP. It just adds a little bit more bonuses, so once you do fight a monster and you collect, its trophy, you will have much more out of it without breaking the game. As it was with previous mods, just drag and drop. Next mod is for silver swords. It makes them a bit more shiny and visually appealing, so you see that silver and not a variation of steel in my opinion, which kinda looked like it in the light. But overall, in my opinion, it just makes it a little bit more lore friendly and it makes it a little bit more immersive if you ask me, so just to install this mod, drag and drop. Now fighting is a big part of the Witcher game, and I always thought it didn't have enough blood or gore, so luckily someone created a mod called Blood which does just that. Adds more blood into the scene, with combat being a lot more immersive and amazing when you have blood, being spilled everywhere, including Geralt. Again, drag and drop installation, and trust me, your fights are going to be a lot more gruesome, but also a lot more enjoyable and immersive. Another utility mod is Immersive Cam Mod, where you can adjust and change how your camera position looks like. Also, it does come with a defined camera look, so once you install the mod, it's already going to be set. Overall, I think it's neat because it kinda polishes the transitions of the camera in the game, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable in my opinion. You can also play around with it in the settings to adjust how you want it, but overall to install it's the same thing we did before. Just copy it and it will work once you are in the game. Next up we have next gen candles. Yes, we're going to update the candles in the game, and not just that, but also add more candles which will paint the scene very nicely. So simply drag and drop this mod and enjoy much better looking candles which also have more depth when they burn for that sweet immersion. Next up is we have a more life-saving mod. It's called Travel from Anywhere, which allows you to do just that. It doesn't matter where you are on the map, you open it up, click on a signpost and travel there. No need to visit another signpost, although I recommend this to people who finish the game. If you're playing The Witcher 3 for the first time, I would avoid this, so you have a much more better overall exploration experience. There is a reason why you unlock certain signposts later, so I definitely recommend exploring first, but if you need it, then this is a mod for you. Also, this next mod is more of that life improvement where it stops weapon from degradation. I actually found it really annoying to fix stuff all the time, so what this mod does is that it keeps your armor and weapons at 100% durability. always. So if you don't want to fix stuff all the time, just get this and you will be good. You know, same installation for everything else, just drag and drop. And the little cherry on the top is the Wolf Medallion Mod. What it does, it basically retextures the medallion, you know, adding a little bit more glow in the eye of the medallion and also increasing the texture wise. So if you want to look cooler with this, you just, you know, it's not mandatory, but it just makes Geralt a little bit more cooler in my opinion. Here is the link if you want it. It's basically drag and drop as it was with every single mod we talked about today. And this is pretty much all I use. There are various other mods you can choose from and explore yourself to see what fits you the best in your playstyle. You can also install Vortex, which makes things easy, but I like to do it manually just because it's super easy, and previously I had some issues with Vortex and some compatibility issues, therefore I just stick to this. But tell me down below, what mods do you use and why? And in the future I can definitely include more mod lists. This is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. Check us out on Twitter and Discord for more, and I do have a Patreon page. If you wanted an extra way to support the channel, you can do it via the link below. And huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. Stay classy everyone, and bye bye.